Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think I have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
And we won't stop.
Will
We
be
will
as bright
not
as the
stop.
sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give, something's telling me this time.
Look at
Baby,
this.
baby, now
See this?
I know.
How you cannot go
Baby,
again?
baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give, something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, come on in, you guys. Make sure you hit that like button as you come in the building. Help our algorithm. You guys know what to do. Hit the like button, share the live. Let's do that for the first minute. Hit the like button, share the live, you guys, and let's get into this content. We're gonna talk. We put this out there. Jarvis Butt charged, and who else do you believe needs to be charged? Some of you guys, she said the intro is too long. Well, you know, that's been our intro for a while. It gives people time enough to get in, so you know. That's what it is, and then we have our own. Those are our personal commercials, and then we have to do our part of sharing with everybody that knows that we have the right to share information for educational purposes and for criticism and all of that. So nobody will get mad, and knowing that this is YouTube, so is for entertainment purposes. And no, I'm not giving nobody legal advice, and because I'm a nurse, I'm not giving nobody medical advice. So we have to do those things, and that's our own personal commercial. So anyway, but I'm glad that you're here. But let's get into some of the things that we can talk about, because I had a full conversation last night with Miss Zan, and she wanted me to watch this video and it was another content creator where one allegedly supposed to be Nazaya's cousin, or this person was supposed to be allegedly kin to the family, and she said she had called in, reported them to CPS or whatever they call it down there, Child Protective Services, CPS, our Department of Children's and whatever they call it, DCF. It all depends on where you live. But anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. And that she has some information. And I went over the video, and and the person was talking, but they were showing a lot of other videos. They were showing some TikTok, and it was pretty decent. I do visit other channels because there's some people that has a channel that lives right there in the Detroit area, and so they hear things, they know things, or they can go visit places that, if you say, hey, I heard she was there. Sometimes people reach out to people that's not in the area, so we're going to always put out Nazaya's name and the person that's charged right now for her disappearance and the unliving of Nazaya. So they say that she's deceased. Would be Jarvis Butt, and he is locked up right now. And so that's what the preliminary was all about. They already knew that they were going to charge him, but was there enough evidence? And so the judge said there was enough evidence. She found a lot of what the grandmother said not to be liable statements that she was making. She said the kids love to eat breakfast at school, and this was their routine, and this, that, and the other. And so I believe that the judge really seen through some people. She sometimes acted like she wasn't paying attention, like she was writing stuff down when things got a little serious, conversations and things of that nature. But I seen that judge was definitely paying attention, because when the grandmother got on that stage, got in the booth to talk, and everything she said, she did not show no kind of emotion. But when she, at the end, said what she believed and what she didn't believe, everything pretty much what that grandmother was saying, she was like, no. She said, you didn't even shed a tear. You didn't even whimper. You didn't, and that's just mortal that like people always, OSP, people grieve differently, and they don't understand. Yeah, we in the new world now. It's the same world. Different people are running it, and they're telling you that that people are different. Now, what you don't know, that you should know, we all grieve when we love, whether it's, crying or acting out or being quiet. You're going to go through those stages. You're going to go through them. It's a scientific fact. You're going to go through the stages of death. And you guys know what those stages are. One of them is accepting it. I can't remember what all the stages was. They pounded it in my head so much. I just, But one of the stages is accepting it. One of the stages is bargaining. One of the stages is anger. That's 3. I think it was 5 to 7 different stages. And then one of the stages is in denial. And then one of the stages, like, you got accepting it, denial, bargaining. But you're gonna have those stages, crying. I can't remember all the stages, but anywho's, those stages are things that you're just gonna have to go through, and crying is one of them. And when a child come up missing, you don't sit back and go, well, there's a 24-hour thing that I gotta wait to go look, and there's a 24-hour thing before I can make a report, and there's a 24, even though the child is missing and it's not a legal report until there's 24 hours, they can still have that information, and they're hoping that the child comes home. She just out having fun and she'll come home. But for her not to call at all, and it's a little girl. And when I say a little girl, because it could be a little girl, it could be a little boy. Don't get me wrong, because today, really, whenever, it didn't matter. But it's getting to the point now, it doesn't matter if it's a girl, a boy, a dog, your cat, your neighbor, your cousin. If something's out of pocket, you guys need to call. Let me see. This is one of our family members. Let's see what's up. Hey, this is SP.
Hello, SP. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh, that's good. This is Melody Jones.
Okay, Melody.
Is this a good time to talk to you?
I'm live right now. What's going on?
Oh my God, you're live.
Yep.
Okay.
We're talking about the Naziah Harris case in Jarvis.
Oh my. Okay, I'm so sorry. I haven't been able to keep up. I have my own issues going on with my own family, and I was calling you to try to talk about my own case I have going on.
Okay, well, give me about 45 minutes. We're about 4 o'clock.
Whenever you get time, you can call me back.
Okay.
Okay, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, I haven't forgotten about you guys. Thank you.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, anyway, you guys, think about this. So, I was up last night talking to Zan, and I know for a fact that majority of you guys go to different channels, and that's fine, But at the same time, when you go to these channels, you hear stuff. And I tell you guys all the time, I say, really, it's okay what you want to hear or listen to or whatever. But, it changes your perspective about the facts or whatever. So while I was listening to this channel, they were very harsh on Shannon. Shannon this and Shannon that and Shannon this. And I'm like, hold on. My spirit at the time, and I'm going to tell you guys, I don't know where I did with that paperwork. Because, let me see. Yeah, here it is. Everybody's just down on Shannon. She's ugly. She's just a big back. She just this, she's that. She took that girl and she whooped that girl. And I'm like, where did you guys get this from? Because I hear the content creators saying all of this and all of that. And I do believe that a lot of that needs to be done. Because if somebody might have a conscience, you think that, you can drive them into confessing or turning themselves in or getting scared or getting in their ear. Because that's what the world is about. I mean, if you work a job, people's always getting in your ear. You said this, you did this, and I done that and done that. They want you to feel, insubordinate to them. They want you to feel inferior to them when you know that, you probably know more than they know. But nevertheless, sometimes you can get in people's ear that's running around on each channel trying to see who's saying what and who heard what or whatever. And then, some people is like, we can solve this case. Well, if you get out there and look for the child, you might solve the case. You might be able to get someone to talk and speak on what they know or what they heard or something that they didn't know that was significant. But if you talk about what you do know, which might be less than nothing, then, maybe something that you thought that wasn't important will be important enough for somebody to go check it out. So it's always good. Hey, Miss King, how you doing? It's always good. And Miss A.T. Terrell, how you doing? So it's always good to try to get as much information as possible. I don't care where you get it. I tell people all the time, shoot, if it was my child, yeah, I'm not going to make a deal with the devil, but shoot, I'll talk to anybody. I really would, trying to figure out what happened. So the majority of the people on YouTube is mad at Shannon. And I understand why. But I'm going to give you something that my spirit gave me last night. And you guys, I'm just going to be honest with you. Shannon's a very easy target. And I'm going to tell you why. She got them 5 kids. Now, I did not know somebody in the in our channel had left me a little message in my DM and said that Shannon miscarried that last child. So she's always had 5. She would have had 6. But she miscarried that last child. Now that changes stuff for me. If that is true. That changes stuff for me. Because then I can see her having a misfit about her niece messing around, screwing around with her baby daddy. Because before, and that just changed about maybe 5 minutes ago, you guys. And I'm just being honest with you. Because before, let me tell you, we had this conversation and I said, let's go over some things because that's what we do. We go over it and over and over. We might go over it 50 million times. Y'all, we go over it twice. Y'all be like, well, we already know that. And we already did. Well, everything that you hear is already out there. And that's what we hear right now. And we're waiting for the next person to talk, the next person to speak, the next person to show us something that we didn't know. We didn't know where this was at. Why was it? I mean, everything that a picture of the girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend house, the picture of the car, the picture of where Jarvis lived and stuff. So, I mean, the more you listen to some things, you got to listen to it more than once or twice just because you've heard it, because you're going to miss a lot. They say that you can listen to a whole lecture, an hour lecture, and get maybe 10 minutes out of that lecture. They ask you to write an essay of what you just heard. And it was a whole hour lecture. You're only going to write maybe a paragraph. And somebody done spoke to you for a whole hour. That's how critical it is. And that's why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Okay? And I know this to be true because I would sit in class and listen to my teacher and be writing notes down, writing down everything that I thought was important, but I'm recording what she's saying also. And then I get home and I'm thinking, I'm ready for this test. I'm ready for the test. I listen to the lecture again and I'll be like, I didn't hear her say that. When did she say that? It happens like that. So anyway, I want to share something with you. And like I just said, it was said in our DM that Shannon's last child was miscarriage. Now that changes stuff. So we came to the decision of something. One is, just because somebody is kin to somebody and what they say, it sometimes don't even make sense. Because some girl was on that channel and she was calling Jarvis Jeremy. She was like, Jeremy this and Jeremy that. And we was like, who is she talking about? She was calling Jarvis Jeremy. And I mean, and we all do that. I do it sometimes. I get people mixed up. But what I'm saying is, so you kind of got to have to pay attention. So the number one thing that I want to make sure you guys know is, and I'm going to write this down because I didn't even write it down, that Shannon had a miscarriage on the last child. She didn't, give birth. Hey, Lisa Calhoun, how you doing? She didn't give birth to that last child, okay? So anyway, so we were saying, so the young lady was talking to me, and the young lady was saying, look, I believe Shannon is involved. And I was like, okay, so if you believe Shannon's involved, let me tell you, I don't believe Shannon's involved. Well, they were saying that Shannon's involved because the brother, and I'm guessing that this would be Jarvis's brother, told him that. And I'm thinking to myself, and this is what I asked the person I was talking to. Well, if he knows this, and if Jarvis told him that, why was he not on the stand? That would have been a good thing to have him on the stand and say, well, he couldn't say Jarvis told him, but he could say, this or that. That's one thing you can't do on the stand. You can't get on the stand and say, well, such and such told me this, because that's hearsay. And see, that's what this world is coming to. Jarvis' brother allegedly said those things about Shannon. There is a recording of him saying that Shannon whooped on her. Exactly. That's what Jarvis' brother says. If there's a recording, I'm wondering, okay, who heard this recording? And when was it recorded? Was it recorded before he went to jail? Or is it recorded after he went to jail? Because if it was recorded after he went to jail, then why is it not part of the evidence? Because they are listening to everything. Anything that he says, they're listening. Just like when he told King, he said, man, my ex-baby mama, and he knew what her name was, whatever. He was like, get in that car and right behind the back seat, get my phone. And so we were talking about that. Hey, Zan, I was just telling them about our conversation and how we were talking and going over things in the mid of the night until 2 o'clock in the morning. So this is what I want you guys to know, what I got out of the conversation. So if the police is listening to where the phone was at and who he's talking to and all of that, then surely they are listening to see and knowing, going to go talk to his brother and say, hey, bro, okay, we heard the conversation that you had with your brother and everything. What do you feel about it? Da-da-da-da-da. They're going to use him as a witness. He wouldn't be out here talking, making videos, talking about Jarvis told me that Shannon did. Of course, anybody that is charged with the death, and I'm going to say what it is, you guys, because we're not kids, we're not babies. This is real. This is somebody's life. And I hate to say that, but people want to be all like, I do too. I want to believe, like, because a lot of the things that they felt seems to me to be staged. Like her clothes over here and then her school badge over there and all this other stuff. Then there's poking holes in the hoodie. But where's the DNA? Because why would you poke holes in a hoodie? The hoodie, like poking holes in a hoodie don't get poked holes in that easy, even if you got claws or whatever, unless you got a knife. And if you got a knife, then there should be some blood. If you poking holes, you're just not poking holes in a hoodie to be poking holes. Or do you want us to believe that some animal done got a hold of this little girl and then ripped her apart, took her out the freaking hoodie with no blood, because this hoodie got a whole bunch of holes, and it ain't even gunshot holes, it's just holes. Okay, that don't even make sense. And then, they found the hoodie and they found some shoes and all this other stuff. So my thing is, and we're going to go over it because we went over it last night, so it's just fitting for us to go over it as a whole, as a family. Thank you. So she got off the bus and she went the other direction. That is a really good piece of evidence. Why? Because she did not, and this is what we talked about, she did not want to go to the house. She did not want to be seen. She did not want them to know that she was getting off the bus. She went the other directions because she already had plans. How did she have plans? I don't know. She must have called from her phone or somebody else's phone. She didn't even have a phone because remember, she don't have a phone. Shannon has a phone. So she could have called from school or whatever, but she done made some contact with Jarvis some kind of way. You guys can't tell me nothing else but what I just said. And while they were going to go pick up parts, these allegedly parts that they were picking up, I don't believe it. I believe they were going up and down the street waiting for her, looking for her. She don't want to go home. She probably said, it could have been Shannon was mad. She didn't want to go home. She found out or I don't know why she didn't want to go home. But evidently, she didn't want to go. She told her friends she was going to be gone for a while. She was leaving. She was going to be gone. So, the idea of her could be still alive? Yes. You know why? When somebody say they're going to be gone for a while, they're going to be gone for a while. Not knowing we don't have a body, so you can always believe that there could be this young lady somewhere out there. But it could be they put this in her head, and so when she told everybody that, everybody think that she ran away, and then once they took her out, they wouldn't be looking for her because, now she looks like a runaway. That's what people do when they groom you. Just like, I tell you guys this all the time. And if you get to be my age or a little bit older, you will see that grooming does not take a lot of skills. It just takes a lot of convincing. And the only way you can convince, really, people is easy to convince when they have already been abused, okay? And they don't feel worthy. I'm just telling y'all like a TI is. You may not like me for telling it, but because sometimes I'm stepping on your toes. But trust and believe, if I'm stepping on your toes, the only way I know these things is probably because I've been through it myself. So I'm stepping on my own toes too. So people can see. People can literally see people that has been abused. They can look at you. They can tell how you talk. They can tell how you walk. Trust and believe. I went to New York. And people always told me, and Las Vegas, they know when there's visitors. They know when there's tourists. They know when there's people that don't really belong there. They can tell. Trust and believe. I got pickpocketed in Las Vegas. Woman came up to me and she was like, hey, do you want to ride this? Oh, girl, give me a hug. And, and I'm not really thinking about it. She doesn't look, like she's a threat or anything. By the time I left, what was in my pocket, which was not my money, because we already put my money in my shoe. But what I had in my pocket, she took out. And I said, I be dang. I was in New York, and I went the wrong way. Just one block away from the wrong way. This guy come from underneath a stoop, and he was like, psst, come here. And I'm looking, and he's talking to me and other people, and then he'll go back into the stoop. And then he'll duck his head out, and he's like, hey, come here. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness. And other people see him trying to get me to come by the stoop. I'm not trying. I crossed the street. Because guess what? He's not talking to them. He knows them. He knows that they're from New York. How I didn't have a camera. I didn't have my purse with me. I was just walking, and I was just looking around, just walking, How do you can tell? But people can tell when you're like a fish out of water. There's a way that you move. They look for vulnerable people. So there are men out there that knows women. They can tell when you have kids. They ain't got to ask you got kids. They know you got kids. They be like, hey, little mama, I just want to talk to you and everything and do. And then, they're not surprised if you say, I've got 2 kids, I got 5 kids or whatever. They know the women that got kids. They can tell. Any man to tell you, I don't date women that have kids. And be like, how do you know? Oh, I can tell. My husband tell me, oh, I can tell. I never date women with kids that have kids. Only reason why I dated you, your kids was older and grown and out the house. I'm like, oh. He said, but I already knew you done had kids. I was like, oh, okay. I can tell men that don't have kids because they selfish. But anyway, so this young lady got off the bus and she went the other direction. So like I said, getting parts or going to go get parts, that's a decoy. I'm not saying that they lied. They could have went and got a part. They could have went and got a piece of pizza. But the main reason why they're down that street, and I'm going to tell you, the main reason why they down that street, a resident street now, is not to go get parts. You're down a resident street because you're looking for that girl. Okay? Because I don't know no AutoZone that's on the resident street. AutoZone is commercial, so it's going to be on a busy street. It's not going to be on a resident street. Okay? So you guys were looking. That's the first lie. King told the lie. King told that lie. Now, why would King tell a lie? Because he might be a part of this equation a little bit more than what we thought. And I tried to tell y'all, open up your eyes. You guys want to get mad just at Shannon. But you know what? I'm telling you, birds of a feather flock together. Okay? You can't be with one person for years and years and years and not know what they like, what type of woman they like. They were waiting, exactly next level. They was waiting to get off, for her to get off that bus. And when they seen her, they was like, oh, it wasn't no, oh, there's my niece. It was like, oh, there she is. They both knew and was waiting on her to get off the bus. Whether she's going to run away with them or they ready to have threesome. I don't know. I'm not going to get it in your head. This is, you know what I'm saying? Because that would just be an insinuation. And then once you get it in your head, you take it to somebody else and say, oh, SP said they were going to have a threesome. I did not say that. I said I will not put that in your head because I'm not saying it didn't happen or it was not a part of the plan. I'm saying it could be, but that's not why we're here. We're here to figure out, is there anybody else that needs to be charged? So she gets off the bus. She gets in the car with them. They go to the liquor store because that's what King said. That's not what I said. And then they went to the shop. They went to the shop. The sister of King says that he seen the little girl there. She was jumping in and out the car. Then she ran down the battery because she was listening to music. She was turning on the heat and she was cold. If you cold, why are you staying out in the car? Why would you not go in the building and go sit down somewhere? It's cold. But here's the kicker. I do got something to share with you guys that I did hear from another creator, not the one that one, but somebody else. It just came on my my feed, and I was like, man, it was just a little TikTok. I seen Nazaya dancing on the TikTok, and she's a pretty girl, very pretty girl. She's supposed to allegedly have some panties in her pocket. So some of you guys might know which video I'm talking about. She was doing a little TikTok dance. So you could tell right there that she did not have low self-esteem. Because the way she danced, she was getting it. She was going. She was doing her little TikTok dance. And remember, they had a message from Jarvis that told her to take them panties off. And then Jarvis told her, I'm in your room and I got a pair of your panties. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He's weird. He make her think that, like he's on that kitty level and hyping her up. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. You can get mad, but it was one of those situations. My mother would always say, fair exchange, there's no robbery. If you say that you want my apple and I give you my apple and then you give me $5, you got what you wanted and I got what I wanted. Now, trust and believe, these type of men are normally tricks. For real. You guys know what I'm talking about now. So, he was putting the money out there. He's not really that. Everybody's like, oh, he's just so good looking. He ain't all that good looking. He not bad looking. I'm just be honest with you. He definitely ain't bad looking. But he ain't good looking. You know what I'm saying? He ain't good looking. I mean, But let some people tell it. Let me see if I can find his picture anyway. Real quick. They're doing something with StreamYard, so I'm trying to pull stuff up. And they say it should be easy. So let me show y'all this. So see, he's not bad looking, but he ain't good looking. So anyway, she got off the bus, she goes the other direction, and Jarvis and King picks her up. Jarvis and King, two men, two grown men, over the age of 40, picking this little girl up. And when they picked her up, they went to the shop. So why did they go to the shop? They went to the shop because they had more work to do. Well, King said they got a little drink or alcohol or whatever, but they had some work to do. King said they worked on this Jaguar, this red Jaguar, that was his baby's mama grandma's house. A car, a vehicle. And once they get the car done, they can have some money. And, they're going to go drop the car off. So, I did go back over the preliminary just so I can hear the testimony of what happened and who went where. So, the young lady that was at the grandma's house has a baby by King. And so, she said that they came to the house. And she also said that they brought the red Jaguar, pulled it in the driveway, and King's car, which was some kind of Dodge or Charger, was behind the Jaguar. Okay? She said that. She said they all came in the house. She said when they came to the house, it was Jarvis, it was King, and it was the little girl. She did not know who the little girl was, but Jarvis introduced her as his niece. She sat right next to the TV. Everybody know that's what she said, right? But she also said that she didn't know that was the little girl that was missing until the detectives came to her house. Now, this is where some things is that we can piece some stuff in together. So, she said that they arrived around about 5:30, but she couldn't tell them exactly what time. First, she said 3. It was before 3. And I'm thinking to myself, did she just say it was before 3? Because the little girl don't get home until 3 o'clock. Then she turns around, I said, without them even, interrupting her, she says, no, it wasn't 3. It was about 5:30. 5:30 is so far from 3 o'clock, it's not even funny. 3 o'clock, I'm nowhere near getting ready for work. 5:30, I'm walking out the door. That's how much of a difference that is. That's 2.5 hours more. So I don't know how she could have got it mixed up. 3 o'clock to 5:30. That's talking about beans and rice. No, they're nowhere near alike. Yeah, you can boil them both, but beans, you can put them together, but bean is its own meal and rice is its own meal. Beans is like what they call a vegetable and a meat now. I don't know how it's a meat when it's a plant, but with all the protein, they are now trying to consider it as part of your daily, nutrition thing to eat. But anyway, and rice is a starch. But anyway, nevertheless, she says that King's car was behind the Jag. Why is that significant to know for a fact? Is because remember they was waiting on some money or something wasn't right, or whatever the invoice was, they didn't have enough money. They probably said we had to do this, we had to do that, and then we fixed this and fixed that, so that's another $25. Whatever. They probably talked about it on the way and said, hey, I probably charged her $100 and I'm going to have to charge her. And he was like, man, charge her $100. I got to get some money. I'm got to get me a room. Because Jarvis is thinking about where am I going to sleep tonight? I need some money now. So anyway, she said they stayed there for 2 hours. We did look up what time that particular day, January the 9th, 2024, at 5:30, it would be dark. The young lady on the stand said it was still light. Well, sun sets at that time between 5:15 and 5:45. So it could have been a little light out, but it would have been dark within 10 to 15 minutes. She said they stayed there for 2 hours. So I'm looking at her like she might just have her time mixed up a little bit. Okay? So if they stayed there for 2 hours and it is now around about 7:30, it's definitely dark. I didn't listen to the last half of it because I had to come on here and go live. But I want to share with you guys something. Number one thing that I learned and found out. Okay, so when they leave, she said because King was on a tether. So they had to leave and he was worried about getting back home on time. Okay. I get that and I understand that. So here's the thing. King leaves, or they all leave, and he takes Jarvis to his baby mama's house, his ex-girlfriend, so he can get that car. He don't want, so there's a reason why he do not want Naziah in his car. So now that tells me there's a plan to either get rid of the baby or harm the girl. It's one or the other, right? Get rid of the baby or harm the girl. You don't want this young lady in your car. She's been planning it all day. Why in the world would you go get a car from somebody else? Okay? Why would you go get a car from somebody else? Because you're planning on doing something. There's a plan. So now we know that there has to be a plan, because he don't want his car involved. Right? So you got to think ahead of the people that's doing what they're doing. So he don't want his car involved in whatever plan it is. Okay? So if they're going to harm the girl or something happened and he's driving on the highway, it won't pick up. He knows that his car or his vehicle can be followed. So he's like, he gets on the phone. Hey, I don't remember the girl's name. Natasha, whatever her name is. Let me use your car. And she was like, okay. And remember, her car was a hot mess inside, just like mine. You get in the back seat, you got toys, you got blankets, you got, a box of food that you done ate. And you don't want to throw it out on the street and there's no trash, so you throw it back there until you can get to it. When we looked at our cars, it was full of junk and trash. So she didn't have time to clean it up. And here's the thing. If it's just Jarvis and the girl, why is her glasses in the back seat? So we were talking about that, me and or myself and Zan. Why would her glasses be? Because if she's so in love with him, she would be like, girl, I'm sitting in the front seat. Or she was sitting in the front seat. So I thought about it, and I said, hey, hold on. My spirit said, pay attention of the blue car. The blue car is the ex-girlfriend, baby mama car. When he took the car was all in one pieces, no damage, no headlights out, no broken bumpers, crash bumpers or anything. It was all in one piece. When he brought the vehicle back, it was wrecked. Now, if you ever dated anybody that works on cars, or I do auto body or whatever, which my husband do, they believe that they are very good drivers. And they are. You got a little, got to do some parallel parking. I'd be scared to death. I'll go around the block 2 or 3 times. Somebody be done got the spot before I can get into it, because it looks too small for me to wiggle my vehicle in that spot. But a person that has to back up cars all the time, and this is what they do, they start cars, they run cars, they go and drive cars to see how they work. And trust and believe, they have to do a lot of parking, a lot of starting the cars up, and they do know how to drive really well. When you don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest with you. They can. And one thing they take pride of, they don't have a lot of accidents. They don't fix their own cars that much. Sometimes you can see, how somebody, they'll do hair, but their hair won't be done. But they'll make sure your hair is done. But they can do hair really good, because that's all they do. So this guy been doing cars for, 2-3 years. So I'm saying to myself, okay, why is your spirit stuck on this car and the ex-girlfriend? I don't know. But the reason why I believe, and I'm just tell y'all, that y'all, everybody's going to assume what they want to assume. people gonna get mad and say, it is Shannon SP. It is. And I'd be like, well, each your own. But if there is gonna be some indictments come out, I believe the girl that allowed him to use her car, I think it's gonna be her. That's what I believe. I hate to bust y'all bubble. I really hate to bust y'all bubble. And y'all say, SP, what would make you think that girl had something to do with it? Let me tell you why. Okay? First of all, check this out. The car he borrowed came back. The girl got on the stand and did not really talk about how the car was wrecked. Or he brought the car back and the car was wrecked. That's some vital information. That's vital information. Hey, Passion B, what's going on? Wouldn't that be something you'd be mad about? Somebody wrecked your car? Yeah. Now, remember Jarvis, and this is what I was telling, this is the reason why I love talking to people on a one-on-one basis. They tell me their input, and I tell you my input. And I said, I can't even say Shannon, because here's the thing. Jarvis made a phone call. To King while he was in jail and told King, man, get with my baby mama, that blue car. Jarvis knew exactly what he was talking about. What the heck? Your baby mama in the back of the blue car, whatever kind of car it was, and go to the back seat and get my phone. And he was like, it ain't just in the back seat, it's behind the back seat. That is some vital information. Y'all looking at everything that's just right out there. There's a badge on the corner. There's a shoe over here. There's a hoodie with holes in it. But that right there was not supposed to be, nobody listened. But the police was listening. So when King went, and he said or something, I think he said he didn't. But evidently he didn't get the phone. But the police went and got a search warrant and was able to go and pick that car up. And what did they find? They found that phone behind the back seat. Now, I was thinking, why would your phone be behind the back seat of not your car, but her car? Why would you be hiding your phone behind the seat in her car? Why? Why would you hide the phone there? Because if you did something to this little girl and they find out she was in the car, evidently they're going to search the car. So you wasn't hiding the phone from that. You had to be hiding the phone from somebody. And it's definitely not Naziah. So you were hiding the phone from your baby mama? And why? Because he told him, don't tell her whatever. Tell her you're going to change the oil or something. Just get that phone, man. So your baby mama didn't know that the phone was behind the back seat. Plus, she ain't through no conniption fit about her car being wrecked. Okay? This is what I want to share with you guys. And y'all gonna say, SP, you said it. Girl, you said it. I don't know how you said it, but you said it. So, I was sitting there thinking, he probably was in this girl's car. The girl somehow followed or found her car or found him with this girl in the car. Why wouldn't Isaiah's glasses be in the back seat? Because somebody had to be in that front seat, and it wasn't Isaiah. She probably told her, you get your happy butt out of my car. And he was like, man, done beat her, hit her, whatever, and threw her in the back seat. And Isaiah's pregnant and, could have bled to death or whatever. Car wrecked the car, made him stop that car and told her to get her happy butt in the back seat. Because if I find a female in my car, you're walking. And he's walking with you. I better not find a chick in my car. I tear my car up trying to stop my car. And you running down the street. And she probably like, you doing this and you doing that and all this other stuff. But you lost your phone. How'd you lose the phone in the back seat and you the driver? You put it back there because you didn't want somebody to see what you had on your phone. And the only way you could have put it back there, you either was in the back seat with Naziah and you was hiding it from whoever was driving. Okay. You wasn't hiding your phone from King. Now, I did not know this. Because, one of the questions was, he went and got the room at 9:30. And so they were like, they don't have pictures of Naziah being in the room or going to the room or walking to the room or whatever. Didn't mean she wasn't in the car. But guess what? And I don't know if you guys know this. And this is new to me. Woke to God. I just found this out. The trail in where he got the room is right across the street from the shop. Tell SP to shut the front door. Yeah. Where he got the room at, that he's a frequent flyer, the motel is right across the street from the auto and oil shop. I can't even make this stuff up. Tuh. So y'all got all this information and can't even put it together. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, it's right across the street. He could have told her, you stay here at the shop, and he went and got the room or whatever. I promise you, you're going to probably see, yeah, it's right across the street. Right across the street. I'm telling you, when I looked, I said, what the heck? Right across the street. So, the ex-girlfriend is like, he didn't bring the car back that night. He brought it back early in the morning. Whatever. I'm telling y'all, everybody's suspicious to me. But she speaks like she not in love. Now, I got kids, but my ex, I don't care if I got kids by him, I'm not finna give him my car. I don't care what's going on. I'm not gonna sit at home and give my ex my vehicle. Not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. No. But whoever probably knew, and that's probably why, he got this $25, $30 room. That's why they needed that money. She said, well, that's a piece of the puzzle that I wasn't aware of. I know. And I'm telling you, it is. That's a fact. That's not I'm assuming, I'm guessing it, da-da-da-da-da. You know what you do? You get on Google Map, you get the address, you look at the shop, and then look right across the street, because that's on a little busy highway. Look right across the street, and there's the trail in. I said, I be dang. I be dangy dang. Tuh. So that's why you go, because some content creators will have some information and they still can't even piece it together. But every little piece of information that we have, I will let you know if it's a fact, and I will let you know if it's an assumption or that's just my belief. When I say, I believe that this ex-girlfriend had something to do with Naziah and it's not Shannon, that's my belief. That's not a fact. But with her car being wrecked, with the glasses, she gonna say, oh, I went to him the next day and my son was playing with some glasses, so I got the glasses off my son's face and I asked him, who glasses are these? And he snatched the glasses from me and said that was his son's glasses. Why he couldn't say anything else? That's what she said. He said those was his son. Now here's the funny thing. The police didn't retrieve those glasses. So you know how some people dry snitch? That's what she did. She probably said, you know what? You played with me too long. Now I'm going to tell him about them glasses that was in the back seat. Because if I'm a female and I know we finna go do something, or I'm pregnant or whatever. Being pregnant ain't never stopped nobody from doing anything or whatever. He probably got caught with her in the back seat. And then that girl pulled up on him. Or Shannon could have pulled up on him. It could have been the ex-baby mama, or it could have been Shannon. I tell people to don't just sit there and be closed-minded and say, oh, it was Shannon. Because Shannon got 5 kids by him. Yeah, it could. But who gonna tear up the car? Shannon would tear up that car because she's trying to stop him. But would Shannon know that he's in a blue car? She probably wouldn't. She probably wouldn't know he's in a blue car. Yeah, it could be both. So it's just when I got to and see. So I'm looking for when the young lady did her statement, and I want to examine that again because I think the family member, if that was a family member that really called in, Okay. She's saying there's more indictments. Well, and everybody's talking about it's going to be Shannon. It's going to be Shannon. No, it's not. No, it is not. You know why I don't believe it's going to be Shannon? Just because Shannon got 5 kids don't mean nothing. She been sharing this man from day one. What's the difference? Somebody even said Jarvis had Shannon's mama. I was like, what? Jarvis done went and screwed Anetta, whatever her name is. I said, see what I'm saying? How would you know that Jarvis screwed Annette? They just, you know what I'm saying? Like, was you there? I'm pretty sure, Annette ain't sitting there talking about, I screwed Jarvis, and everybody know it. That woman, I don't believe that at all. I look at her, and I don't believe it. I'm not saying, she ain't still having sex and all of this other stuff. I'm just saying she ain't touched that child, that man. I don't believe it. I just do not. But what I do believe, Shannon didn't, he was hiding from somebody that's cuckoo crazy because he got a fiance and he wouldn't even park in her driveway. So it's either the ex-baby mama or it's Shannon. But somebody was driving that car while he was in the back seat, or he SA'd that girl in the back seat, and they found him and they lost it. Probably hit the car, went up to the car, snatched her out the car, and woo, whatever. And you know what? The only reason why I will say Shannon is because being hurt by another female is not as bad as being hurt by somebody that's in your family. I can take my man that went and got with some female that I don't know. I can't even be mad at her, really, to be honest. I have to be mad at him. But if I see my husband or my baby daddy, or my boyfriend actually, because I don't care who my baby daddy is with, and he with a girl, that's cool. But he with my cousin, that will hurt. He with my niece, shut the front door. Yeah, I'm and we still doing things, you know what I'm saying, that would hurt. Yeah, the rage will be there. Tear up some stuff. Tear up a car. Even if you in my car with another female, that will hurt. That will hurt. So, yeah. Tina says, I heard that the police is getting them comfortable, so the next time that they testify, they are going to lock them up. That's what I heard. Yeah. The police is not getting them comfortable. They haven't asked them the hard question. Why would you come out right now and ask them the hard question? Get as much information as you can. And you sitting there thinking, well, the kids like to go to school and eat breakfast. No, kids, they like to be around their friends and everything. But if they had a choice of what they want to eat, surely they want to eat some hot eggs and bacon and sausage and toast and some pancakes and syrup and some orange juice or some your frosted flakes or something with some bananas or something. They don't want no cold milk in a cookie. Because that's what the school gonna give them. Some cold milk and a cookie. Probably a peanut butter sandwich with some mayonnaise on it. You be like, what the heck? No, I'm serious. I mean, sometimes, their lunch, they might have some chicken one day or some spaghetti. And the chicken nuggets is good. But, I mean, they don't have it every day. Shoot. You might get a spoonful of beans and what else? And then they ain't giving you pancakes and bacon and eggs. I can tell you that. I can see about, you don't mind eating lunch because you don't want mama's sandwich, what you had last night or something. Something like that. But no, not breakfast. But I don't know. I ain't been to school in so long. I don't know. I mean, people think when you get old, you just dumb. Nothing changed. You know what somebody told me? There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. Was they talking about the sun, a physical sun? Or was they talking about the Son of God? There's nothing new. That means anything that, when people be like, I got a really good idea. Okay. It ain't new. It might be new to you, but it's not new. Somebody else done came up with that idea. Somebody's doing that. It is just not genuine. There's nothing new under the sun. But it just surprised me how when we were talking, and let me tell you, we talked for maybe a good 2 hours. I went over stuff. Zan went over stuff. And, we were sitting there, and she said, Shannon. And I understand. Not only because a whole bunch of people. I just, the thing about it is, when it's so easy to put the blame on somebody, but what everybody is saying, it doesn't make sense. Because when the brother come in and say, well, he told me this. Well, when did he tell you that? Why was you not in the courtroom on the stand? You would have been a prime suspect, even though that you can't say he said this. You being the brother should have been on the stand. So, I'm finna get off of here, you guys, because I gotta go to work tonight. But I listened to another video where I think this guy's name is Marcus, and he lives down there in Detroit, in that area, and he's been following this case from day one. He's been trying to get justice for Naziah. He's been out there searching for her. He's got an open line. He's got podcasts and everything. He teaches kids how to start their own broadcast and YouTube and TikToks and things like that. He tells them how to run it and make it. He's really, good. I mean, he does what he do, he smokes his stuff and all that. And his eyes is always red, but I mean, that's him. He's grown. He can do what he do. But nevertheless, he had a broadcast and somebody's always calling in on his broadcast. And guess what? Lord and behold, somebody called in. And guess who it was? It was Naziah's brother. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And so the brother was like, look here, man. A lot of what you saying, you just do the broadcast, and a lot of what you saying is like, look, bro, some of it's true and some of it's not true. But you just trying to get likes and all this stuff. People always like to say that. They want you to shut down. Like, So, what Marcus said? Man, my channel was already designed and built before your sister came up missing. Fool, listen, we're trying to get awareness out there. We're trying to get to prevent it, and had to talk him down. But at first he came at him a little harsh. He really did. Then he kind of calmed it down and said, look here, man, you know what? You tripping. When I say you can meet me in the street, I'm not saying meet me in the street and fight, the gang banging and all that other stuff. I'm saying meet me in the street. We can go look for it together, or I can show you how to do this and make you some real money and blue, whatever. And then the young lad, he calmed down a little bit and he was like, yeah, you know. He never said, I'm sorry. Every time I turn around, he wants somebody to feel sorry for grandma. And you know what? I'm going to just be honest with you. I cannot feel sorry for somebody that, when you do not have no, you don't have no regrets of what you did, what you put somebody through, or, remorse is the word. This child was lost on your watch and you don't have, I would be beating maybe I wanted to get on the stand and be like, I feel like it's all my fault. I should have seen it. I don't know how I couldn't see it. This woman wasn't trying to, because you will reflect. This child is still missing. Grandma ain't reflect nothing. She's sitting there, answering the questions. Yeah, no, I didn't know. I took her tablet. Not that I know of. She's a good girl. Girl, what are you talking about? She's a good girl. That's your grandchild. That's your baby. Like, that's a part of you. But then when they asked her about the mama, oh no, she don't come around like that. So y'all done shun her just because, mama got a problem. Yeah, I understand it, and I would too. All right, D-Diva. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm just saying. Because when Jarvis probably picked up the car, he had to have that girl with him. He had to. And she probably could have jumped in the back seat like, I don't want her to see you get in the car, so just get in the back seat. But why, Jarvis? Why was your billfolder behind the back seat? You were hiding it from somebody. Who was you hiding it from? It wasn't King. It wasn't Naziah, but you was hiding your billfolder. And remember this, you guys. He had to go pay for the room. So you had to hide your billfolder after you paid for the room. Anyway. Zan did bring up another good point, which was the reason why she felt Shannon was a suspect is because Shannon is still putting money on Jarvis's books. And King is putting money, or was at the time, trying to get money on the books. Because remember, he was like, man, I put some money on there and they just lying, they just treat you like that and blah 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 blah. If you know what this person is in there for, and you've got any kids, and you kind of pretty much know what he did and what he didn't do, I wouldn't be putting no money on you. You couldn't call me. You couldn't call me and say, hey, SP, I need money on my books. My kid is missing. They don't know where they at, or she at, or whatever, or that's what they saying. But I just need a little money to get by. I said, girl, I ain't got nothing. I'm sorry. I wouldn't be putting no money on your books. But Shannon is. So I feel when Zan say that's why she believes Shannon got something to do with it. So sometimes people think I don't listen. But I listen. I have to make an argument so you can tell me the reason why. You can't just tell me you just believe it because you just believe it. You got to tell me why you believe what you believe. What facts do you have to make Shannon a suspect? And I just, like I said, if you don't have the conversation, I'm not going to think of everything. You're not going to think of everything. But if I think of something and you think of something and such think of something, but we keep the facts of facts, we can all have different opinions, assumption about the situation. Let's not ever get mad or twisted about that. Because we're all going to miss some information. So that's why we come on here. We have open panels. You guys bring it. We talk about it. Who told you that? Where did you get that from? Is it a fact? I just told you. The trail in of fact is right across the street. It's not a fact that Shannon had a miscarriage, but I'm pretty sure we're going to hear it again. But I'm letting you know it's out there. And we're going to dig off into that preliminary and see what that baby mama blue car actually said. And look at how her disposition is on that stand. Is she trying to dry snitch and get him in trouble? Because she's mad. Because I'm going to tell you something. Who not going to get mad if I loan you my car and you bring it back all broken or toe up, the back end toe up? I'm going to be mad about it. I'm going to be mad about it. She said he brought the car and then he took the car the next day too. So whatever he had to do, he didn't want to do it in his car. And she's a part of the equation. I'm telling you guys, you know what? You're going to have to tell me what you're doing or where you going or what's woo. They can run if she's got a thing on her car, and he may know. She don't have one of those things that'll let you know where you go or where you been. She may not have no GPS on her car. And that's probably was like, let me use your car. Because on my car, on an Escalade, I promise you, I will know every time you hit the street. Let me tell you what happened when I first bought my Escalade in 1999. The Escalades came out in 1998, okay? I brought a 1999, okay? Keys got locked in the car. I've done had the car for 6 months. I'm downtown with my kids. We just ate pizza. This is before all of this stuff and all this internet and everything, you guys. So if you think I'm lying, you better go ask somebody. So I called. So every Escalade got serial numbers on the keys. So I called the 1-800 number of my vehicle. And they said, oh, ma'am, we see exactly where you are at. Car wasn't running. GPS hadn't even came out yet. Hello? I'm being honest with you. GPS has not really came out as like it is. They say, we see your car, we just unlocked your car for you. I was like, what? This is in 1999. I went out to the street because I told the kids that let's go sit in there. We're going to call AAA and all this other stuff. They was like, no, we'll just call the company. But what kind of car you have? Oh, yeah. They can unlock it from where they are. I said, get out of here. I went to the car and the doors was unlocked. I lie not. I lie not. And I was like, oh my goodness. They knew where the car was. And they unlocked the car. Oh, if somebody steal your car and you call them, they shut the car down right immediately. This is way before internet and everybody's doing Facebook and TikTok and Snapchat. All that stuff. I was already introduced to it. You talking about a person that sit back and go, what the heck? You done unlocked the doors to the car? My car. So all these people that run out and go get these Escalades and then they want to go tear up some stuff, don't do it in an Escalade because they can shut that car down immediately. They can shut it down. They will lock you in the car. They can shut the car down and it won't even go nowhere. It won't even start. They can do whatever they want. They got full access control of your car at all times. Because that's what the Escalade comes with. It's fully loaded. That's why they call it prime time. See, you can buy them a dime a dozen now, but when I bought mine, it was $46,000. It was as much as a house. You can buy them for $6,000 and $7,000 now. They nothing, but they still, you know. It comes with a lot of warranties when you get fully loaded. 99% of them is fully loaded. They're not going to make an Escalade and say, okay, let's make a Goodwill Escalade, something that everybody can just do. No, you know, that Cadillac carries a name. And I'm just being honest. It was nice having it, but you definitely don't want to go do nothing, you know, go rob anybody in it or anything like that and think you're going to get away just because because that sucker dude got a Corvette motor in it. Hello? Anyway, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. I've shared with you what I know for today. We will look into some more stuff. I'm hoping. It is very, very spacey, very nice. Top notch. They got the Boss speakers in them and it sounds good always. Never crack, never I mean, everything's right. And then the internet, the receiver that they have in there is the OnStar. So I ended up, I know y'all think I'm crazy, but I ended up giving mine to my son after having it for 7 years. I've only drove it. It wasn't even 70,000 miles on the car. I think it was like 60 something. I gave it to my son because it was just, if you know, I don't like all the attention or whatever. But not only that, it attracts the wrong people that people's like, oh my God, can I see in your car? Oh, baby girl. I had fun in it. Don't get me wrong. I did have fun. But it does attract the wrong people. Okay? And I like to stay low-key. Shoot. I had it. The only reason why it didn't have a lot of miles on it, because I parked it in the garage and I rode a Humpty. Everybody thought that girl done lost that car. She done lost her house. She done lost her business. She done lost her job. I was like, I ain't lost nothing. I ain't even lost sleep. I'm riding in this, and that car was stopping on me every time I turn around because I don't want to be bothered. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's good to have a nice, decent car. You can go anywhere you want to go, but you're going to have a reasonable car to just not even be bothered. If you're like a person that likes attention and be flamboyant, be all you can be. But some people just want peace. And if you've done had the flamboyant life before, then maybe it's time for you to just get a little peace in your life and you'll see how wonderful it is. All right, you guys, be good, be great, and be nice to each other. Bye.